Newcastle scored 6 in the Champions League yesterday. That's the team that Chelsea struggled to win. They beat them QARABAG 6 goals to 1. Fantastic for Newcastle. Obviously, they are in the next round of the Champions League. There is no way these guys can come to St. James's Park and score 5 to win. It's not even possible. Or even score 6 to win. It's practically impossible. The surprise is BODOE and GLIMT after their I think they beat Manchester City and one other big club, and now they qualified. They have an opportunity to go to the next round. They beat Inter 3 goals to 1. These guys might be they are probably the surprise of the season in this Champions League. Good one for them. For Club BRUGGE and Atletico Madrid, both Nigerian boys scored in this one. Onyedika scored, Lukman scored, so good one for both of them. One point, I would say 1 point, but the draw is good for both. The next round is going to be an interesting, but good one for Onyedika and Lukman to score in that game. For Olympiacos lost at home to by LEVERKUSEN, so they are going to be a long journey for them to qualify for the next round of the Champions League. For Arsenal, this league is gradually slipping away from them. They went away to Wolves and drew that game 2-2. Yes, it's still in their hands. Even if Manchester City wins their next game, it's still in their hands. But they still have to travel to Etihad at some point of the season. And the next game for Arsenal is going to be Spurs and Chelsea back to back. So there is no way they are going to get 6 points in that game. So, well, let's see if they are going to bottle it again, or something might happen to them and they probably might win the league. But let's see. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. Today we'll talk about the champions and talk about Arsenal bottling this league or not bottling this league. Good morning, also.
Good morning, Godwin. You say Arsenal's bottling company. You put it that way. Okay, good morning, and you said a side to weekend of foot ups. Why do I keep saying weekend? Like anyway they play football, every like a weekend for my eye. But another Champions League just delivered a wonderful performance on the field, and I would say is, to be honest with you, we didn't expect the Premier League to go this way for Arsenal yesterday. A draw in that game. I was battling Arsenal to play draw, but again, I didn't expect it. It wasn't from the heart, but they ended up serving what I did, what I asked for. But good game of football, and welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to you. Good morning, John.
Yes, a very good morning to you, Godwin. It was a fantastic game last night across the Champions League games that were held. I think the most hilarious result of the day was BODOE GLIMT beating Inter Milan on the night.
I think so too.
Subsequently, Newcastle with a 6-1 win. Fantastic run of games. Looking to get into it today.
Yes,
we can also play a draw, I think.
Yeah, so we'll get it out today. It was a fantastic game in the Champions League. Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, the results of the Champions League yesterday was a fantastic games of Champions League yesterday. Olympiacos lost at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Club BRUGGE and Atletico Madrid played a 3-3 draw. So that one a fantastic game of football. Then finally, BODOE GLIMT beat Inter Milan 3 goals to 1. Even though Inter scored first in that game, I guess. But BODOE and GLIMT fought back and scored 3 to win that game 3 goals to 1. For Newcastle did well. They went away to beat QARABAG 6 goals to 1. So they are obviously through to the next round of this Champions League. Now soft work they will do for St. James's Park next week. So it's going to be a fantastic one for them. Okay, let's start with that one because that was the first game of the Champions League yesterday. That Newcastle game. Gordon scored 3 in this particular game. 2 penalties. Four. Scored 4 in this game. 2 penalties and 2 goals. So he scored 4, and that was a fantastic for him. I like the way he played. He played as a striker in this one, and he scored 4.
Behind you.
Yeah, but Made behind me, and he scored 4. He's been a fantastic boy. You understand? I won't say it's just a bigger club, but Newcastle is big. But I think it's a bigger club in code because
you said you won't say it. Now you went on to say it. What's going on here, man?
But it was a fantastic game of football for them.
Well, good game of football. You know, I said I was going to focus on that. I wasn't supposed to focus on this game, but since it's the early kickoff, let's talk about it. Newcastle versus QARABAG was a game like you expect. I actually gave up in the first half after 3-0 up. Which in the first 30 minutes, 3-0, I gave up on that game and went on to do some other things, important other things. But again, in that game, you saw, I was thinking, what's this man wrong? What's wrong with Eddie Howe? What's the color of your problem? When he took over Newcastle, Jolinton was playing as a striker. He brought him into midfield. Now you signed the Voltmade as a striker, and all of a sudden you're playing him behind the striker, and Gordon's in front of him. I was thinking, okay, fine, this is going to be a switch swap role where he plays as a striker, plays a hold up play, and Gordon runs into the channel. But no, whenever the long ball comes in, he just uses his back of his head to flip up. So any aerial ball in midfield, they are winning. And second balls, Tonali is going for it. Best, I think the game yesterday was won basically in midfield, not in the attack. Because whenever these people come forward, there was no chances for them. All the midfield space were closed. They were being boxed in the midfield. And before you could think or rethink your next move, you've lost the ball already. And these people are far in your post, and it's open for them. 2 penalties on the night and comfortable 2 goals. I think it's a good one for him. Somebody was coming and complaining that, see, I beg, this goes for this knockout stages or this playoff stage. This is supposed to count and joy because he give these people extra Champions League match. You get? I'm like, that one concern you. If you say you want to get extra goal, if you make your team play the playoff now than complaining, and I think it's a good one again. Gordon's if you look at the scoreboard right now, I think he's on the top 3 players with the highest goals in the Champions League so far.
Good game,
good game so far.
Yeah, good game. Also, sorry for John for this particular Gordon. Yeah, he's the fantastic player. Now he scored the most. He has the most cap in the Champions League for Newcastle, which is 15. Scored the fastest goal the club has recorded, 122 seconds. And the most goals in a single Newcastle campaign, 10 in the Champions League. So he just broke out the records for Newcastle.
Yeah, you know, Anthony Gordon is the best player at Newcastle. Any other person can argue with their conscience or with their keyboard. But everybody knows he's the best player at Newcastle. Whenever he's not being played, whenever he's not starting, whenever you just know that something is missing down that left or down the center behind the striker, you know something is missing. Secondly, not just that he scores goals, he also provides tons of assists in any game he features in. And then for tonight's yesterday's game, you could tell there was something special about the atmosphere because it felt like, let me say, the mantle of Alan Shearer dropped on this guy, and the guy just picked up that thing and ran with it, created a couple of chances, scored a couple of goals. Of course, he got 2 penalties and buried them in that encounter because everybody can win a penalty. Can you bury it? He buried his own. But what actually shook me was the way that QARABAG fell to those chances. Like, QARABAG, I think I remember the last time also quoting QARABAG as being a big team that they are able to at least shut you down.
Now because they play against Chelsea.
They're able to shut you down. They're able to make you defensively. You get, but we didn't see it last night.
No, it didn't.
We didn't see it last night. Look at the quick succession of the goals. A goal at the 3rd minute, a goal at the 8th minute, and then 2 goals inside 1 minute in the 32nd to 33rd minute. That shows you that, look, these guys were in total disarray yesterday, and I can't place my finger on what went wrong, but they really
early goal went wrong. Early goal went wrong because after considering the early goal, I think they came out to play, and whenever they come out to play like that, they lost the ball. They always lose the ball in midfield. All thanks to my man in midfield, on Toto. I greet you, bros.
Okay, let's talk about the other game. Fantastic game for Newcastle. They obviously are going to move to the next round of the Champions League. There is no way QARABAG will go and score 5.
What if they beat Newcastle 5-0?
It enters the extra time. They need to score 6.
Now, if they beat Newcastle 5-0, it can't enter extra time. They'll come play penalty shootout.
Not be this game with the watch. But let's see, anything can happen in football. But to score 5,
I was thinking QARABAG that came up against Chelsea will come up today, but it didn't.
That's how football is. You understand? Chelsea might meet Newcastle and beat Newcastle comfortably and beat them 4-0, but they couldn't beat QARABAG, and Newcastle trashed them away from home. So the same stadium that Chelsea couldn't win there. So that's how football was. You cannot really predict what will happen, but good one for Newcastle. They are obviously through to the next round of the Champions League. Let's talk about BRUGGE and ATLETICO MADRID, that game, and the 3-3. Our 2 Nigerian boys scored in that game. For Lukman scored and Onyedika, she scored in that game. It's answering Onyedika. Rafael Onyedika here, but in Nigeria, because it's answering Onyedika when he plays for the Super Eagles. But both of them scored in that game. Fantastic game for Lukman. He has about 7 goals and assists since he moved to Atletico Madrid. Yeah, fantastic player. That game was a good game. Penalty for Julian to score the 1st goal of that game, making it 1-0. They made it 2-0 when Lukman scored from there was the corner kick, and he tapped in to make it 2-0. But Club Brugge fought back and made it 2-2. Oyedika scored in the 56th minute. They scored again in the 60th minute
To make it 3-2.
make it 3-2. Atletico made it make it 2-2. Atletico made it Atletico made it 3-2 from Joel. On goal. Then finally they made it 3-3 in the final minutes of the game.
Club Brugge win this match.
So it was a crazy game of football. 3-3 on the night.
Yeah, it was a crazy game of football. I think Club Brugge now matched Atletico Madrid 5-5. But where I want to put my finger on is the fact that you get 2 early goals, and then in the second half you give 2 early goals within the first 10 minutes or within the first 15 minutes of the second half starting. Like, we need to work on that concentration that picks up after you come back from the first half, because you started the game well and then went on to go and open up the back end for them to score you 2 in such quick succession. That's 8 minutes, 2 goals within 8 minutes, and then it's in the first 15 minutes of the second half. So clearly something went wrong there. Something needs to be tightened up there. But then again, let's not forget that they were gifted an own goal for this one. It could have easily been a Club Brugge win in this encounter. So I feel like there's something that Diego Simeone needs to work on. But credit to both teams because they came out and they fought for it. I just feel like the way Atletico Madrid have been conceding goals, if they do not match it with the way they've been scoring, if they do not match it, they could crash out of this competition in the next round.
Okay,
first off, good game. It's a game of 2 halves. Atletico for the first half, I think scoring a penalty by Julian Alvarez in the 7th minute or 6th minute. Well. Then towards the dying embers of the first half, Ademola Lookman with his own goal, and he felt like, okay, fine, it's a wrap. And I felt like, okay, it's a wrap, but all of a sudden, I saw a different team come out in the second half. It was not the team that came out from the tunnel in the first half that came out in the second half. I will be honest with you, it was a different team, a different energy, a different momentum, and they came out Atletico Madrid, and they fought for every single ball. That's what they call intensity multiplied. They fought for every single ball. The team that played the first half was quite different from the team that was playing the second half. For me, they fought for every single ball. They went at Atletico Madrid, defensive, offensive, midfield. They had more of the possession. I think they got a set piece that led to the first goal by Rafael Oyedikachi. Good game for him and good goal as well. But towards the end of the game, when they came back 2-2 in that game, I felt like he actually created the chance for the second goal as well with a couple of passes, and the person that had the assist, the person who creates chance and the person get assist, and two different people. But he created the chance for the second goal because winning the ball back, paying a couple of passes forward, and getting the player to make the assist was a good one for them. But now, considering the own goal was a problem, I felt like, okay, they don't 3-2. Atletico just go defend, nothing concern and this match again, just go defend. But for the ability for him to get that, I don't know how he did it. I don't know what his vision level is about, but he got the assist again that led to the equalizer. Good game, bro.
Good game.
They didn't have a solution for him in that game, to be honest.
See,
no 2 ways about it.
There are players you look at in their club football, I feel like, bros, why this guy debut was Super Eagles team?
My own is that I think he should move to a bigger club. Because
Leave bigger club. If they play well.
I like
24.
I like the way they utilize him in
defensive midfield.
Defensive, but he moves forward. Let me put like a Patrick Vieira, midfielder that can actually progress the ball.
Actually, you see, what's his name? The Manchester United legend, the King.
Roy
Keane is basically a pure defensive. I'm talking
about
they
attack.
He cannot. Do you know?
When you attack with him,
if you compare Vieira when he plays football, he can play as a number 10. That's what I'm saying. He can play as a number 4, play as box to box, and play as a number 10. Play behind the striker, even play as a striker. The guy was too good. I think that's the thing with Oyedikachi. That's why I compared him with Patrick Vieira. Apart from the height, he can defend. He can attack, he can pass the ball, he can progress the ball. So yeah, I think that's what he's doing well. Hopefully, I don't want him to move to Sunderland and all this stuff. Make him move to a bigger club. You understand? Hopefully, we'll get that call.
That's make it for Club Brugge.
Yeah, you can one of calls one day
and calling you next
and move to a bigger club. I'm not taking anything away from Club Brugge. We gave him all the opportunities for him to build himself. But yeah, if he gets a bigger team, he should move. For Lookman have been doing very, very well since he moved to Atletico Madrid in this January. He has 7 goals and assists in this Atletico Madrid team. He scored again in this game, so fantastic for him. So we are watching 2 Nigerian boys. Both of them will face off again next week at Madrid to see who will progress to the next round of the Champions League. Okay, let's move away from from that game and talk about the surprise of yesterday. It's BODOE and GLIMT again. Beat Inter Milan 3-1. Yeah, they scored the first goal. Inter equalized.
Esposito, I mean,
Esposito scored to make it 1-1. But in the 60th minute, they scored 2 to win that game. They scored 2 goals in 5 minutes to win that game against Inter Milan. 3 goals to 1.
All I just want to say is that two players that have the same pronunciation of their name but different spelling were the ones responsible for 2 goals in that game. BODOE and GLIMT came out like we haven't seen them before, played Inter Milan. What I think, sometimes watching games, watching how these guys go up against big rivals, it kind of gives expo to other teams that may be hoping to play these guys in a competition or maybe in the league, because it was total shutdown. Total shutdown. And then secondly, you have to give them credit too, because they prepared. Unlike most teams that will say, na Inter Milan, na where to go do all of that one and that, but they started the game well. They set the pace by setting up that early goal, though it came in the 20th minute. Fett scored the first goal, and then the guy following him, Hag, who provided the assist, also scored and provides 2 assists in that game, making it a good round-off of game for BODOE and GLIMT. But I think where we are going to have an issue with this Inter Milan team is the way they did not respond after going down. You expect that when you take a goal down, you rally the troops and you guys attack and get something.
They did it in the first half, but the code was just too much.
The
heat was
It's not cold, I beg you. Everybody has winter.
Everybody has winter, not Norway.
Oh, wow.
Norway na regular winter.
Leave that one.
Leave that one, I beg.
How many games have they lost this season? That season?
Now away now. For Champions League now away. Atletico come there, they collect. The Man City collect. Inter Milan don't go now. They don't collect. So I was all Kivu, we do this, Kivu, we do that. The code in Italy is the same thing with the code in Norway. But again, I was disappointed yesterday. A game of 2 halves. In the first half, you score, I equalize. You score again, I equalize. It was that kind of pressure they brought in. They scored one. Inter Milan equalized. I think within the space of 6 minutes, the equalizer came in. Esposito, equalized. And it was back and forth. Attack, I attack. Defend, I defend. Everything was just going. Answer, you throw a punch, I answer you with a jab. You throw a jab, I answer you with a punch. It was just like in the first half. The second half came in. First 10 minutes of the second half was kind of okay, balanced football. Everybody going at each other's throats, one blow for blow. All of a sudden, it was a jab, and Inter Milan were down. We thought, okay, fine, Inter Milan were going to come up. Inter Milan came. I'm not even saying Inter Milan were going to. Inter Milan stood up, attacked. Like when you take the punch and you attack without calculating. You take the second jab and it's lights out. So I think that was what happened in the game, because after going down, after 2-1, Inter Milan came with everything they have, attack everything, but just a counter attack that led just I think 2-3 passes. It led to the 3-1 loss, and these people locked up shop.
Let's not also forget that this man too has been struggling for getting games, scoring as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. BODOE and GLIMT, they are the surprise package in this Champions League. Obviously, when they beat Manchester City, I think they needed that 2 wins to win. They beat Man City in one of those wins, and they qualify for these playoffs. Now they beat Inter 3-1. So they just need to go and defend. Don't concede and 2 goals in San Siro.
They will concede more than 2.
But let's see. It's going to be an interesting to fight next week to qualify. It's still possible. 2 goals is still within, but the way BODOE and GLIMT are playing and defending and scoring goals, is going to be tough for Inter Milan. But if they move through, nobody